Hello! Thank you for choosing Impact from Mosaics. In this video, we will review how to create recurring services in Impact. In a subsequent video, we will review how to record specific service events. This video utilizes the Model Impact configuration settings. The configuration of the system that you are using may look a little different, but it will function in basically the same way. There are a few things to keep in mind before entering recurring services. First, make sure that you have entered data in the following sections of Impact. Under Plan, you need to make sure that you've identified programs and identified activities if you are using activities, and most importantly, identify groups that will be associated with your recurring service. These are very important details to remember. The system is built to follow a logical workflow and requires some amount of planning before services can be successfully saved. Second, the recurring services section of Impact consists of two major steps. The first is record recurring service. It's also called service setup. This acts as the starting point to capture the recurring services. The second step is events. This is where each session of the service will be recorded individually. This video focuses on the first step, to record the initial information about the recurring service. I'm going to assume that you've already identified your programs and the groups you will be serving, so let's go ahead and enter the recurring service. We're going to navigate to the Implement menu item and click on Record Recurring Service. This takes you to the listing page where you can choose to create a new recurring service, or you can edit a recurring service, which is the same action we'll be taking to add events under the recurring service in a future video. Right now we're going to click New. Upon clicking the new icon, we're taken to a page where you can enter some preliminary information about the recurring service. The information you enter will be carried throughout the entire series of sessions or events for that service. We're going to select the organization and the program name, which, if you recall, is required as you see this red asterisk. I'm going to choose Social Norms. The activity is not required, and if you don't use activities, you don't have to enter anything here. Now we'll enter the recurring service title. Be sure to use a title that will be unique to this series of services because you'll want to recall it later. In this case, I decided to use Spring 2015 as something that will remind me of this particular recurring service. Now you're going to choose the Identify Group. If there's no selection available here, you'll have to go back and identify the group separately. You can add a service description here. It is optional. You get up to 2,000 characters for this field. And you'll want to select the recurring service status, active, canceled, or completed. Obviously, this one's active. In the next step, we're going to select objectives, service type code, and service population before proceeding. I'm going to scroll here. To select the objectives, which is required, you click on this plus sign. Remember, since we're using the Model Impact system for this demonstration, the configuration of your system might differ slightly. But when we select the objectives, we see first the problem behavior, then the goal, and then the objective below that. We can use the checkbox here to select the objective that applies, and we're going to click the X to close the panel, and our selection will be saved. The service type codes that were assigned at the Identify Program step will be available to select here. If this list seems limited, you can go back and edit your program and select additional service codes to be available here. You will need to select the service population here. And you can click Save. A confirmation message will appear at the top of the screen when the record is saved. The Cancel button will undo any changes you've made. And the reason I got the error message is because I've already created this one in advance. In this video, we learned how to set up a recurring service in Impact. For more information, look for additional videos in our YouTube channel or contact customer care. Thank you for watching.